Hey, welcome back to Happy Little Note Trees. We're just continuing along on this full workflow color grading project. If you're watching on the Shorts feed, it's gonna rapid fire quick in the next minute or so. So hit the link below to hop over to the main one to watch me just kind of work on this short film. If you're coming from the previous video, hey, welcome back. But let's get going. So where we left off is we were working on this house. They just got to the car. We were talking about things like halation and, what I like to do with it and where I like to use it. And it was just kind of banal and boring. And we put on a power window to kind of focus in on our actress and actually give her a little shading on the one side of her face. So the light is coming in from the one side of her face still. So it was just kind of a nice little way to draw us into what she's pointing at, which is Sibobo. Come on now. Anyone loves a little ghosty. It's me. So one of the things that we did, we made some tweaks, and like I said, unless I'm coming back through as a trim to make an adjustment to my look level, when I make big adjustments to here with halation, bloom, any of that, I'm going to ripple that out to my entire timeline. And you may ask, hey, why don't you just do it on the timeline level? And I would say, because with node layers now, I have the freedom to easily, it's a lot easier to escape from a look or when something breaks. To have it on your third layer and apply across the board, and then when you come back on your final pass with a trim and you're like, hey, that halation on this shot is just broken, if your entire look dev is sitting in the timeline level, that is frustrating and hard to come back. It's almost easier as you're doing the look dev to dial things around and get it sitting the way you want. If that means making tweaks to shots, like we can go back and revisit what it mean to add halation here. You get that nice glow on the hip. Adds a little bit more definition and more lighting to what's going on him. And we can check out how it's sitting elsewhere. It is nice little glow to the edge of her face. Just depends. What is to your taste? Like if I came back to the shot and was like, whoa, that halation that I set up before, I can escape it very easy. Can't do that on the timeline level. And so it's just nice, easy, quick way to kind of just bring things around. So I would say, based on knowing this is where our shot is, this is exceedingly bright. And so we're going to have to just dial that back in. We're going to go in here and just start working our exposure node here. Kind of just bring down the high-end exposure, get it back in bounds. I'm going to bring down our gamma and just keep deepening this shot up because it was exceedingly bright. And I'm going to bring up maybe just a notch. Yeah, but we cranked down on that loom. Now it feels like we're in this shadowy corner. Can you see how dark it is in the image? And so when we're coming back, having watched that, this would be very bright. So it doesn't need to be perfect because we're never going to go back to that wide shot again. It just needs to be slightly close compared to what it was, which felt like all of a sudden this was shot at a different point in time of day, and so the lighting is way different. The other thing is that now that we got some shading on the side of the set, we can actually bring this up just a notch and just see where that sits and go. We're going to go tweak our color and just check that a little bit and kind of bring in a slightly different balance. Make things a little bit more brown. And we're going to go over here and just drop a window on the wall. And you can see we can bring this down really easy along in a linear space. Well, where is it? We'll just crank this up and move it. And the shot doesn't move, so life is happy. We can kind of now bring this in a lot harder now that we and so yeah, if it feels weird on Windows, that's because the scope and everything, I shrunk down for the recording to be able to record better. My encoder gets all freaked out if I'm going anything above HD, so that's why it thinks there's stuff going on when there isn't, and this window will automatically resize to my source footage theoretically. So yeah, we kind of bring that in, and now we can go back and kind of see where things are sitting underneath that. Are we too hot, too bright as it is? And yeah, it's fine because he's in the light, he's glowing. We hesitant to give him anything else. And maybe like that. Yeah. And it's going to jump back to her, which we already have things going on. We already have that look set up with him there. So these two are linked. When we're working in that remote grades, these three are linked, working in that remote grades. I think, look at the timeline, it's sitting on top of it. But I don't have my timeline up. Yeah, there's overlays and stuff, and it fades around differently. So there was that thing that we did with that window. We can kind of see if that's still working over here. And yeah, to a degree it is. And now we're looking over her other shoulder at Siwowo. Oh, hooty nanny. That is a lot going on. Through the car window, I got the glass, got the glare, everything. Just gonna bring in the bleed through of the light. This shot is going to be tricky, isn't it? It's not going to be. Gotta make sure our blacks. We kind of have. So I have in my head, for the overall look, where I want my black level to sit, and that's where I'm tweaking heavily on the lift. But I'm bringing in the gamma and kind of just pinching that in, and bringing that down. That's too much. It looks unrealistic. Can just sit. I think the saturation on the magenta is a little much. Yeah. Take that back a notch. He almost looks like he's in the glass. That's fascinating. I can push this a little warmer and bring in a lot more coolness in the shadows. And the greens seem a little vibrant, so I'll just trim down that green and yellow saturation. Seems kind of push them back to gray like that. And that's kind of just a trim on what's coming out of there for this shot. We're not even hooked in. So we do have that similar thing going on there. It's the same angle, but we don't see Siwowo. We can start with just kind of just dropping these adjustments on here like so. So we're kind of sitting in the same thing. We can kind of have back. And think about this for a second. I don't want to bring up. Yeah, so totally different shot in terms of where the exposure sat in the filming. kind of just bring things back in a little bit tighter. And let's see how that looking over there. Not bad. I'm not opposed. I'm not super happy with it. It's the saturation now. Bring the skin back up. Give a little color back into my face. In the face. Maybe that's my face. I don't know. I was acting. And we're going to just check where that is sitting. So in the shadow. And that's where we're going to go with our linear balance over here and kind of just get that a little bit more consistent looking. That's fine. As it gets hotter, we're rolling off towards a more greenish tone anyways. And so we'll just drop that. And we can go back and maybe just oops. What is going on here? Ah. That's fine. Wow. Something's happening with how it's doing DCTLs right now. That's so weird. What is going on with my DCTLs? Functionally doing what it's supposed to. It's not even registering on my micro panel, but I'm using a DCTL. Eee. I wonder if what we're gonna do. I must be upset about something. The cache file is not happy. So we have this. We're back to that wide of her. And yeah, and just make sure this is doubled up. Oh, it's not bad. That's good. And now we're on this other angle, which why is that? I'm just going to bring that in quite a bit. I want everything to be kind of in that same happy-ish place down around here. Bring up the brightness. And then we're probably going to just drop that little power window over here. Yeah, just drop a window just for giggles. Drop give a little shade onto my skin so it's not feeling like it's so hot. And we're back to, wow, this slightly different angle that I said we'd never revisit. I forgot we're revisiting it. So that's that. This is this. And now this is that. So see what we're hanging out. And goes back inside the wall. What an ugly looking spot. And that is the break in our scene. Whew. That was fun. Had some issues. I'm going to have to restart Resolve and see what's going on, but we're about 15-20 minutes in to another session of this guy working on the Real Ghostbusters of San Diego. Yeah, if you like this, like, subscribe, do all those other YouTube things. If you made it this far, just know I'm taking time away from an actual paid project to, I guess I shouldn't say it like that. That's weird. Taking a break today to work on regrading a short film that I did a while back, just for you guys. So, but I am always open to hearing about the projects you're working on and whether or not I can, be of assistance. I'm a freelancer, so I work with what I got, and what I got is that thing. So, anyways, if you enjoyed, we'll see you in the next one. Yeah, that video should be here.